Hey, howdy, folks. Welcome back to the shed on this fine, bright, but slightly windy Sunday. Oh dear, it looks like Toby seems to be having some issues. Right, let's give him a little more speed. I think that's pickup issues, possibly dirty, but we shall see. Let's see who's in the chat. There's a stalwart of the channel. There's Ben. Hello, Ben. We've got Les from Down Under. Nice to see you. Jean Ricard, another stalwart. Yes, Toby don't like the points today. And he's stopped completely now. Toby was found, yes. Right, let me deal with Toby. Now you swine. Get her moving. Well, I'm going to have to turn you around the other way. Try a little more speed. Toby was found, yes. Who else have we got in the chat? We've got Model Railway Shed Dino. Hello, Dino. Nice to see you. I did spot Connie earlier on, and there is Artie. Osmerica Model Railroading. Artie Zero. Hello, Artie. Nice to see you. Nice. Mum and Son Train Rail fans. There's Tammy and Ray. Hello there, and good morning. And Ray Bertelson. Nice to see you. Now Toby seems to be running a little better. Obviously doesn't like the slower speeds, but yeah, bit of fun. I've got Toby pulling some, I think they're Northeastern Railway teak coaches. The coaches are worth a lot more than Toby is. So look, I'm pointing. Yeah. RGJ Trains. Good morning, Rob and Grace and John. If you're out there, hello, nice to see you. Curly Express. There's Dwight. Hi, Dwight. Nice to see you, man. H&H Express is right there. H&H Express. That's Hi. For those of you that don't know, and most of you do, Hi is a Dutch genius. There we go. And congratulations on your 500 subscriber mark, which is excellent. I'm going to have to get rid of the hat, so I'm actually getting a little warm. But there you go. Right. Normal service is resumed. Yes, running today, I dug out Thomas the Tank Engine type Toby, who was a tram engine. Now, we do actually have is it a J72? Correct me if I'm wrong there, Ben. Or now we've got Chris in. What was the actual tram engine, Chris? Was that a J72? You'd have to put me right there. Yes, indeed. Past the 500 subs, now at 506. Excellent. Carry on climbing. Yes, there's Toby. Resplendent with his number 7. I'll obviously give you a closer look. J70. Thank you, Chris. Yes. Loosely modelled on the J70, which is a tramway engine. David Hall, hey. Apologise for being late. No apology needed. If you arrive at all, that's good enough for me. Thank you very much for attending. I'm giving the MLV a little run as well, so I'll speed that up a bit. In Jaffa Cake livery. We love Jaffa Cake. So called because it's brown and it's orange and it's got a grey bit which resembles the spongy bit underneath. For those of you that like biscuit type confectionery. Yeah. Well, we call them biscuits anyway. The Americans call them cookies. I'm not sure what the Australians call them. Just Jaffa cakes. But there you go. That's another story. Delft Junction, that would be Peter. Hello, Peter. Nice to see you. And Sodor Dandaman, you'll be surprised at how much Hornby Toby is to buy, as well as all the other Hornby Thomas range Scotsman and Murdoch regularly for £2,000 or more. Why? From what I can recall, the Murdoch was that still a tender drive? I know Henry was, because they put the 5-pole motor in it. Easy to spot a 5-pole Ringfield. As soon as you take the body off, take the tender top off, you'll have you'll be faced with a set of grey cogs, reduction gears, whatever you want to call them. And that's a dead giveaway that the Ringfield will have 5-pole motor in it. Don't know why they went to a light grey colour rather than the black. Perhaps it was just that very reason that they wanted to instantly discern whether the model was a 5-pole or a 3-pole. Interesting. Could be. Went to a train show yesterday, got some small pieces. In N-gauge, they probably would be small. Originally appeared in 1903 as the Great Eastern Railway Class C53. Yes. Now, Chris, we do actually have the Rapido model, but by popular request, out comes Toby, because he's obviously 9F, tender drive. First production runs a Henry with tender drive with factory error, missing paint on the number. Later runs of Henry with loco drive. I see. Interesting. For those of you that are aficionados like Dan of the Thomas stories, from what I can recall, Henry had a boiler change, or I think it might have been a firebox change, because it used to have like an angled firebox like that, very similar to the kind of A3 firebox, and then they gave it a much more bulky firebox, so it would steam a lot better. This is just in the stories, and it gave it a firebox that resembled more of a Black 5, which I suppose Henry is loosely based on. And of course, then Henry got a new lease of life, and he's running much better, and the coal's lasting longer, and yeah, new firebox. But that's from what I can remember of the stories. As I say, the TV series didn't do much for me at all. And the reason I got Toby was, well, I had a young son. So, of course, you're going to get a bit of Thomas the Tank Engine stuff. And Richard grew up watching the Thomas the Tank Engine stuff. But he'd already graduated to something a bit more akin to real steam engines, like the Big Boy. I happened to have this. It was an old VHS copy of Last of the Giants, and it was a 1950s made video biopic of the Big Boy, and in it was an explanation of all of the workings of the Big Boy and how Anatole Mallet came to get this arrangement. And it was so good that Richard wore the tape out, absolutely wore it out, and watched it again and again and again and again. And thus was born Big Steam. You couldn't get much bigger than that. It was a shame at the time there wasn't one running anywhere in the world, except they had a working replica of the Big Boy in a smaller gauge. I think it was something like 9-inch gauge at the Forest Railroad in Cornwall. And we used to ring up when we were on holiday and say, "Can you tell me when you're running the Big Boy?" And they say, "Oh yeah, well, we're going to run it Thursday." "Okay, we'll be there." And then we turn up Thursday, and didn't matter if it was raining or not, the Big Boy was everything. So yeah, we filled our boots with that. And Yeah. So it's an interesting amalgam, a mishmash of bits and pieces from the past and present. I think we've all got a bit of that in our railways. Things that are stuck in here, and you think, well, if I ever get a railway together, I'm going to put that in. And Anthony Dodge, the model train outsider, the Märklin outsider, good morning and welcome to you. And Joyce, if you're watching, if you're awake at this ungodly hour that it is in America, yes, welcome. As I was saying, we've all got little shards of railway related information stuck in our heads from when we were very young. I can recall a level crossing out near Canterbury in Kent. We were on the way to Ramsgate for a day out at the seaside, and we just happened to stop at Canterbury and right in front of this level crossing. And I remember all of these trains going backwards and forwards. It's a really shaky memory, but it's still stuck in there. I could only have been 3 or 4 at the time. So it just shows you the power of the memory. And little bits and pieces, signal boxes, little junctions, ends, a snaking of the rails. It's all stuck in here. And as soon as you make a railway, you think, I'm going to have that. I'm going to have this. And did I just see Woodthorpe International? That's Colin. Yeah, nice to see you, Colin. For those of you that have been watching Woodthorpe International and the huge trestle bridge that Colin's done as a lead up to the Helix, Colin's going to do 4 different continents with 4 different seasons on them. 9F Silver Seal. Oh, no swearing on the channel, please, Ivo. Yeah. Oh, and there's Clive. Hello, Clive. How lovely to see you. I hope you're keeping well up with the bargains. Yes, so Colin is going to do Japan, and there's going to be America, there's going to be GB, and there's going to be Europe. And each of those in a different season, which is, yeah, I think that's exactly what Colin had in his mind. Or whether that's evolved over time. Tempest Fugit, time flies. And there was a video that basically told that any Thomas train in the model's era was a Märklin loco. Interesting. Yeah. Hornby, owned by Märklin. Now there's an interesting idea. We might actually get some decent stuff there. I digress. How's the US of A today, Anthony? Well, it looks like from all the weather predictions that there's less of a chance of getting snow, particularly where Anthony is in Toledo, than normal. That's not to say, I know they're looking a little bit ahead, too far ahead perhaps, and the weather individuals on the web, I watch a guy called Ryan Hall. He seems to suggest that it's not going to be the chances of a white Christmas that hitherto there might have been. Joyce loves Ryan. Yeah, he does a lot of good. If there are storms coming down and there are twisting elements to those storms, he will get it out there and give the people of America some warning that there may well be some destructive wind speed coming their way. Storms, heavy snow, all of the real weather nasties that it can throw at you. So yeah, I do keep an eye on it because obviously we've got friends in America, and there's Connie over in the Carolinas, and Anthony's obviously in Ohio, and there are people all over the place, and there's a good chance that someone somewhere will unfortunately cop it. And if it's within my power to send them a message or something and say, yeah, look, you ought to have a look at what Ryan Hall's doing because it's coming your way, I'll do it. Doing okay, getting ready to go out to breakfast with the family. Then busy week outside the calendar videos. I won't be on YouTube much watching or commenting. Okay, well, that's life. And Christmas is big family time. So family and friends, yeah, just enjoy. And if there's no family and friends, try and get some decent food in, some decent drink, and enjoy it as best you can. This, not these. Okay, we get the idea, Anthony. That's fine. No chance, Dino. If it does, then you have live streaming address. Dino in address doing a live stream. I can't unsee that now. That's right. That might have an unusual twist. You might get 10K views on that. Who knows? Yeah, it'd be a bit like mud at Christmas. I digress. Doing some painting for Shedmouth Junction WWW Challenge. Yes, I've got an idea in my head for that one. The Wibbly Wobbly Wagon Challenge. I've got the kernel of an idea up here. Whether it comes out any good or not is in the lap. That's lap of the gods stuff. Yeah, thanks, Andy. Yeah, all right. Yes, I don't think I was designed to wear dresses. I remember my sister dressed me up as a brownie once. Well, I was very young, and she was 7 years more advanced than I was, and she thought it was a great idea until my dad saw me, and he hit the roof. And that was the end of that, as they say. Almost as bad as robbing a mankini. Well, I suppose if it's in, you could do a bodybuilder pose. I would imagine that would be acceptable, particularly amongst the women folk. And anybody else, however you're inclined, you could do one of those. You know, that would offset the mankini angle, I think. Artie's gonna head off to bed. Okay, thanks for coming, Artie. It's great just looking in. It's great having you. So have a good sleep and crack on, my friend. Hemel Down Model Railway. There is Mark. Hello, Mark. Nice to see you. Here's a little departure for you. Let me just recline. Toby. Pulling some very nice Hornby Great Eastern Railway teak four-wheelers. So, yes, it's a bit of a departure. It was a request. Obviously, Sodor Dandaman has an interest in said Thomas gear. And I did admit that I had a Toby. And, I think Hornby did essentially an overscale job on it. But they didn't produce a bad model. My only problem with the Hornby Toby is its scale. Yes, it's way over scale, but it doesn't clout anything like signals or platforms or anything like that. So, albeit overscale, I think it's more overscale in height than it is in width. It just makes it look a bit more chunky and perhaps a little more appealing to children because of that. What do they call it? Character. Sometimes we've got models which are definitely out of scale. A good example of that is the Mantua Tyco 260, Rogers 260. That's obviously loosely based on Sierra number 3, the most famous engine in the world, Casey Jones, all the films. But it was made in 00 scale because they couldn't find a HO motor, electric motor, that was small enough. So they used what looks very much like an XO3 type triang motor in it. Wasn't very good. 3-pole, noisy. So of course I stripped that out on mine and got a motor from a vendor on eBay from America who gave you a kit of parts, which was the motor, instructions how to mount the motor, and a flywheel. The flywheel was a little over drilled, so the shaft was a very loose fit, and I had to pack the shaft and getting that true was a nightmare, but I did manage it. I did complain. I did think about complaining that he'd overbored the hole in the what do you call it? The big brass block, the flywheel, and yeah. But I thought you can even moan about it, but he's in America and I'm over here, and getting it sent back and the costs and the time, I may as well just try and fix it myself. I could have taken it to an engineer who could have probably bored it out a little more, filled it with braze spelter and re-drilled it. I could have had that done. But or I could have just had one made to similar specifications and drilled properly. But I decided to go with it, and with a bit of judicious tinfoil and things like that to pack it out, I got it to the point where it was decently balanced and central. So anyway, I got away with it. Sound like a job for some brass tubing? Yeah, if you had the right size brass tubing, so on and so forth. And I didn't. So anyway, I got around it. Necessity being the mother of invention. I just spent an afternoon trying various things until I was happy with the result. Fair enough. Right, let's get you down at ground level. I do have some other engines that Richard has very helpfully put out. I've got his brand new Atlantic over here, which he picked up at Worley. I'll just give you a brief look at that. Right, let's just drag her out a bit. Okay, crew, here we go. All right, here we go. And there is the Atlantic in Great Northern Railway livery. Sorry about the shaky hand. See if I can get a little closer. That's a little blurry. How about that? And then in yonder shed is the, let me just drag that out. That's the Rapido one with the great big massive wheel. I hope I'm showing that okay. There. So we can have a little swing round. And over in yonder siding is, that's either an N2 or an N7. I can't remember which. but 062 wheel arrangement. That I've definitely got right. Yeah, I do like the Atlantics. They've got a symmetry about them which really does look the part. There we go. You should see Toby along any second. Going a little fast, of course. What's GNR? Great Northern Railway. It is N, isn't it? Yeah, GNR, Great Northern Railway. Sure it is. The Sterling Single. Yeah, that's it. Thanks, Rich. Let's give you a better look at Toby. There he comes. Yay. And the motor luggage van. Why do UK always look so vintage compared to German ones? I don't know. I suppose the fashions change with the eras. I suppose because they developed from something that looked like the rocket, it was a slow transition to get from the rocket to the Mallard. I don't know if the Germans just jumped as far ahead as they could and then kept with it. But then the German engines tend to look a lot more utilitarian, like the American engines, where they've got pipes and wires all over the place. It's not a criticism, it's just a feature of their locomotives, and I suppose our locomotives have got their own features, and I suppose that's one of them. Okay, Kyle, thanks for coming, man. Nice to see you, boy. Thought Toby was an 08 from a distance. Yeah. I think actually an 08 is a little lower. Yeah, we got no style. Do you want to sing it, Dan? Ain't got no style. I simply roots. Yeah, perhaps that's it. We're just a bit more roots. Interesting. Yeah, Pete, the signalling system is Heathcote Electronics. If you want to have a look at their website, I don't mind giving them a plug because they're very good boards. And if they can last in a shed with all of the ups and downs of temperature and humidity at the moment is set at 60%, which is acceptable. Yeah, these are that's a fairly cheap Chinese eBay purchase. They look like, if I can find one here. They look like this. What I do like about them is that they've put brass bullets on the end, which means you can undo the screw, whack them straight in, and not chew up the wires inside, and maybe get a bad connection. You just screw straight onto the brass on those, which is great. and they were dirt cheap. You get about 10 of them for 20 quid. Can't remember the exact figure. But the only problem is they are more allied to the American style of signalling than ours. We use a negative common, and the Americans and I think possibly the Japanese use a positive common. So it's just that when I ordered the boards for this, they have to be a common positive rail on the LEDs. Oh, cheers, everybody. This is a coffee. No additives, apart from a bit of sugar. Arr. There's James. Hello, James. Oh, that was so funny. For those of you that didn't watch Sparky 107's extravaganza with James and Trackside Mike, it's worth going and taking a look at it for the sheer fun factor. Plus, having a couple of hooligans there really helped. Smashing up his trains. Oh, brilliant. It was such fun. And I suppose if you're going to have people over, Sparky couldn't have picked two better people. I can't believe I said that. Right, well, let's change up Toby for the N2 or the N7. And I'll let you have a wee look at that. Might be going back this Friday. Whoa, that could be interesting, James. Right, come on, Toby. I say he's got a fair turn of speed for a J70. Stop. Right. And how are you today, Toby? Piss off. Oh, who said that? No swearing in front of the children. There aren't any children. Oh, all right then. I hope your next shit's a hedgehog. Right. He's off. And let's have some, dare I say, prototypical action. Right. Open up the right of way. And we want reverse. Oh, what a beautiful runner. Oh, man, that looks nice. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's get this running. Cop this. I'll keep us nice and slow for you. Coming down the catwalk now, ladies and gentlemen, is an N something, an N7, or it could be an N2. Let's modify the position slightly. Here she comes. What a beautiful engine, decked out in a beautiful green with these very slender tip coaches. Oh dear, seriously, Posh. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope that was suitable. Suit you, sir. Suit you. Oh, suit you, sir. The Great Northern Railway. Oh, good grief. I'd only morning airing covered. Sorry, that's about the only Yorkshire I know. And there's always Brum. Where's Brian when you need him? Now, Brian's definitely got what I would call a Brummy accent. Hey, they've got no cow in Bovril. And that's the best I can do with that one. Oh, platform announcer style. Station, including the distortion. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is your announcer speaking. On platform 7 this morning. Oh. The train arriving next will be the last train out. Thank you. Hey, Harry, I think this mic's having a bit of problem. Let's try dinner, Harry. Okay. We've got ham rolls, steak rolls, beef rolls, rissoles, arseholes. Trevor, last time I was in East Anglia, I saw a tram loco, no Toby face. Oh, what a bummer. Perhaps he didn't want to show his face this particular time. Lunatic. Forgotten to take my tablets, yeah. I'm still rubbing in the ointment, Colin. I don't think it's doing any good. Everything keeps flaking off and falling. Yes, well, this kind of lunacy comes from the bowels of England, I'm afraid to say. You know what it's like. Once somebody starts you off, yes, I'm afraid that's it. I can't do a Scottish accent to save my life, which guys like Flymo will be very relieved about, because, you know, I'd never be able to look him in the face. And congratulations, I must say, to Flymo for winning the Moderator of the Year award. I did vote for him myself, so I'm polishing my nails up, as you do. Lee's off. He's got a live at 5 with a cool live stream. I'm glad to hear it. East Anglia have a purpose-built Toby using a Ford truck engine on a wagon chassis to power it. Oh, that's interesting. Whereabouts is that? Not that I want to go out and see it, but I would imagine it's been done for the kids. I voted for Joyce. She got one vote. There's 1% of the vote. I think Flymo got something like 50% of the vote. But let's face facts. He's in a lot of live streams, well trusted. He's got a pretty good idea of history and current events and things like that. So, yes, he's well travelled. I've just noticed I've given you a very bad slant. I'm sorry about that. Let me just fix this. Oh, my God. Is that any better, ladies and gents? Oh, that looks a bit more like it. Oh, I'm so sorry about that, mister. I'm not sure what region of the Americas that was, but I know I just destroyed it. And there's Rusty Twanger. I think I could do Rusty Twanger. Not as good as Anthony, of course. But you've got to draw your inspirations from somewhere. Oh, I don't know how you do that voice without going hoarse, Anthony. Show me a home where the buffalo roam, and I'll show you a house full of shit. Oh, sorry about that. Down, Rusty Twanger, down. Years of practice. Yes, years of gargling with throat ointments. And there's Timber Surf. Ciao for now. Okay. So long, Timber Surf. another stalwart of the video web. Do one-section pacers exist in the UK? I don't know, Rich, if you're still in the chat, do one-section pacers still exist? To tell you the truth, I don't remember seeing one, Ivo. I recall, though, too much does rip your throat up. Yep. Yeah, I was almost on the verge of a cough there, Anthony. I can't do a Welsh accent to save my life. If I do a Welsh accent, it comes out sounding like Matt Slade. And as I don't really like taking the piss out of people, I don't mind imitation, but if people get the idea that I'm taking the piss, then I'd rather not do it. But Matt's got a very high tension voice. It's like somebody has taken him away, put 100 psi through his toenail with compressed air, so he's absolutely bursting. Then he puts himself in front of the camera and it's, "Hey everyone, it's Matt here, and I'm going to do a review today." So yeah, he really does sound pumped up. And Matt, if you're watching, I do apologise. I'm not taking the piss. Lanfair Linlicha. No, I can't do that either. Lanlair Frinlithgo Goggery Ranticilio Go. That's as near as I can get. Mrs. Doubtfire. Now, Mrs. Doubtfire, that was who was that? Was that Robin Williams dressed up as a lady? Yeah, well, Ben's in the chat. You know, I'm not taking the piss out of Ben. Ben's a great guy. But yes, Ben, I'll fully admit I can't do a Welsh accent to save my life, boyo. In fact, I could probably do German, probably better. Well, pidgin German than I could do Welsh. I'm not even going to attempt that. Right, tell you what, let's pop this one back in there. Right, let's drop this one off. Forgive me a second while I... Oh, actually, I can open this one up. Forgive me a second, ladies and gentlemen. Normal service will be resumed as soon as possible. Ah, bugger. Oh, come on now, behave yourself. All right, okay. Right, now if I swap sides, let's do that. And this. We swap sides. Right. Okay. Let me get out that one, and that one, and that one. Open this one here. And off we go. Why did you stop? That's better. Right. and on. Tell you what, I'll run this Bang Road. For our American cousins, everything's back to front. What's the difference between a USA and a Canadian accent? Can't tell the difference myself. It's subtle. It's subtle. I suppose if you listen to a lot of Canadians and a lot of Americans, even the Americans have got different accents depending on which part of the country they're obviously from. I'll just give a shout out to Connie, who does a live stream at roughly around 5 o'clock our time. So if you're interested in quite talented people doing modelling on the bench, it's a very similar thing that Lee does, except that they do it separately now. Right, let's catch up with the chat. Pico UK 80 shed, and then I did double O. Nice kit, but a bit lacking internally. Yeah, a lot of the kits do. One, the internals for the models. Yes, yeah, that's right. Yeah, you did. Now you've got to actually get the kit to go around it. Right, let me just check what the N2's doing on this particular point over here. That's better. It's not really a Canadian accent, it's a border accent. Also spoken in large parts of the northern USA with slight variations. Yeah. Yeah, that's probably it. Oh, what language do you speak? I speak border. I'm not sure what I actually speak. It's a version of English. There's probably a little bit of Cockney in there. Although where I was born in Liverpool Road in Islington, you could probably hear Bow Bells on a very calm day. But Bow Bells is quite a distance away. I'd say about 2 or 3 miles. So you could possibly hear it if there was no other background noise. Let me just have a look at this. Yeah, you live in Islington, but not that one. Yeah. Okay. Okie dokie. I see. Is there a little bit of ill banter going on there? But never mind. That's thank you for interjecting, Ben. one of my degrees in linguistics. Yeah, probably. I don't know about bore anybody for hours. It's quite a fascinating subject, actually, Anthony, as you probably well know. Yeah, I sort of understand, but yeah, that's the way of chats and things. You know, it's not always roses and peaches and cream. But there you go. That's what we have mods for, and my mods are pretty good. I've got amongst the luminaries, I've got Flymo, Anthony Dodge, and Ben, and they're all fair-minded individuals who who have a fairly good, upbeat view on life. It's uh, it's it's not all roses, but it's not all of the pits either. So yes, everybody, if you could hit the like button, I'd be most appreciative. Not that I'm a clock watcher or anything like that. And I'm pleased to relate, ladies and gentlemen, that the Jaffa Cake 4CEP is running superbly well. How about a change of engine? Would anybody like to see the Atlantic run? I rarely act as a moderator. Somebody always beats me to it. Yeah. Right. Okay. Let me just take off the under engine. And I will pop on the Atlantic and we'll see what she runs like. Okay, a little bit more forward. And I will reverse onto, where is number 6? There. And open up number 6. There. Now I just have to go into reverse. Oh, helps if you open the points. That one. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Normal service will be resumed as soon as possible. One, two, three. And open number 7. And we should be good to go. Reverse. Forward. Oh, very nice. And here she comes. I'll just reverse back on. And here we go. Right, coming at you is the Atlantic. And we've got Moneybrook Junction in. Hello there. Nice to see you. Nice. There goes the Atlantic. Right, let's just pop a view around the other way. There goes the 4CEP. I'll move a little closer so you can get a better view. And here she comes. She's having a bit of wire trouble there. There we go. Aha! My Christmas layout gets the ATF treatment on the last run of the year, which keeps it oxidation free while in storage. Oh, that's good thinking. Cool stream. Build model kits and cards. Thank you very much. I'm not actually sure that Dave Swindon Junction has got a live stream this afternoon, but if he does, he usually follows me at roughly 2 o'clock. Those fitness coaches designed for an even smaller profile than the current UK one. Coaches designed for an even smaller profile than the current UK one. When you say profile, Ivo, are you talking track profile? They've got fairly fine scale wheels on them. So these are the latest Hornby iteration. Closet Branch is going to play toy trains now. Have a great day. Thank you, Closet Branch, for popping in. He's just put up a notification. Okay, super. So let me just grab that camera. There we are. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm a little low. There we are. Thanks everybody for coming. I'm going to call it there. Hope you enjoyed watching the trains run and chewing the fat. I'm not going to do a next Sunday, which is Christmas Eve, because I've got a few family things to do. We're going to trot across to the father-in-law who lives on the other side of Hertfordshire and cook dinner and play cards and do that kind of thing. So I won't be doing next Sunday, but the next one should be the 31st of December. So thanks everybody for coming. It's a shame I can't do one Christmas Eve, but no doubt I'll see you in the streams. If somebody wants to do my slot at 1 o'clock, James will be live January the 1st, 7 p.m. That's good to know. Thank you, James. See him in the new year. Been a bit of a strange year. I won't be unhappy to see the back of it, actually. So I'm hoping for better things from 2024. Thanks everybody for coming in and making the live stream what it is. It's you can't do it without the core, and you people out there are the core. So I'd like to wish you all a very happy Christmas, happy holidays, and I'll catch up with you on the 31st of December, which will be New Year's Eve, and you all eat well and stay warm, and I hope you don't have any illnesses over Christmas, and just have a nice break and enjoy yourselves, play with your trains, and be of good spirit. So I'll catch you all soon. Auf Wiedersehen, tschüss, and happy trains. Well stolen. Thanks everybody. See you soon. Bye-bye.